Click the screen to advance the game. Your choices will affect the outcome. Your choices will affect the outcome of the story. Dischan. Hello there, everybody. I'm WaitWhat, and this game looks like it might be a lot more interesting than I initially thought. This is Dysfunctional Systems. Something about chaos, but the title isn't on the menu here, so yeah. From what I understand, this is episode 1 in a multiple-part series, and the rest of which I don't think has been released and all that stuff. Just listen to that music. Look at this art. This might be something really good. Yeah. And come on. Look at these extras. Picture. Sorry, but that music's pretty darn awesome. Okay, let's go. Okay, that music was awesome. Television. Working families across Brighton are no doubt issuing a collective sigh of relief today, as the legislation for a minimum wage increase of 50 cents passed in Parliament early this morning. This bill comes after a public outcry that the majority of Brighton citizens are without enough income, too poor to make ends meet after the recent increase in food prices. The change brings minimum wage for workers working over 40 hours a week to $3.67 an hour, and workers working less to $3.20. Wow. Although welcomed by most, there has been stiff opposition towards the bill from foreign investors, primarily those from Gabria. Major Gabrian companies such as Uchko and Norgli have warned that wage increases would hurt Brighton's economy, arguing that the new rate would force more layoffs, as they cannot afford as many employees. I mean, it makes sense when you think about it, but it doesn't mean it's good and all that. Yeah. President Barnaby, who has been supportive of the legislative since its inception, retorted that well-fed employees were more productive, and reminded Uchko and Norkley representatives that employing a Brighton citizen was still over 16 times less expensive than employing a citizen of their home country. Stocks did, however, take a moderate tumble after the approval of the legislation. President Barnaby assured citizens that the drop should only be temporary, and that the markets will begin to rise again after the initial shock was subsided. President Barnaby. Are we talking like Barnaby Brooks from Tiger and Bunny? That would be very entertaining. But probably not. With this minimum wage increase, Barnaby has finally fulfilled the last of the campaign promises made during his 1523 campaign trail. Whether or not he manages to accomplish his 1520... What? Right. With that, we conclude our hourly business report. Next up, the latest of entertainment news. Without a doubt, I still find it strange. Everything strange. Bizarre. Really, if these worlds were nothing like my own, at least then I could approximately flip out. But no, they're similar. Too similar. I keep slipping into a feeling of normalcy, only to have that sensation of strangeness slap me across the face at first sight of something weird. There are plenty of weird sights around to do so, too. Like, for instance, these advanced-looking televisions in this decrepit-looking building, which I can only assume is an electronics store. They are the first things I've seen since arriving in this world that actually look somewhat new. Fancy, even. Up until now, everything has been old, ramshackle, and in various states of disrepair. It makes me feel very nervous. It's just so profoundly disturbing Will I ever get used to this? I think that I will. Some year or decade from now, if my mentor is any indication. Look at him, standing there so aloof, as if this were just another day to him. Which, yeah, I suppose it is. Well, what do I know? Nothing. Cyrus. Winter? Yes? Sweet! I'm Winter! She's cool already. What do you think? Think? About what? About we just saw and heard. Oh. To be honest, I wasn't really thinking anything about it. Winter, we've only just started. Please try to focus. Yes, yeah, I will. Sorry. They moved. Oh god, it's a visual novel and they moved. It's one of those. It's a good one. It's just... well... I'm still finding it a bit hard to wrap my head around the idea of destructive conflict. Well, of course. I was the same when I first started out. There aren't that many examples of conflict at all in our world. Right. You might even find it surprising that war is actually a word in our dictionary. Okay. Totally! Yet, still. Winter, you'll come to understand conflict very well, don't worry. After all, you'll be doing nothing but dealing with it. Lame. Well, anyway. You read the material on this world, right? It should have been your homework. It was. And tell me what you think. Perhaps it's time to admit that I didn't spend much of last night reading the material, so much as turning the pages and glancing at them. I like her. She knows that homework sucks, and we do homework very similarly. I was tired, and honestly found watching the bubbles in my soda significantly more captivating than those in those files. The way they merge with each other and crawl up the glass is really incredibly pretty. I haven't done that before, but it sounds pleasant. You're certainly pondering rather hard there, Winter. You must be whipping up a dazzling answer. Oh god. Brighton is poor? That's a fact, Winter, not a thought. Sorry. What I think is... I think... nothing. Look, what I've learned so far in class doesn't seem to be particularly applicable to this world, so I'm finding it a bit difficult to care. How can I care anyway? Besides all that, this is all so disconnected from me. Plus, it's only my second world, for heaven's sake. I'm still flummoxed by the fact that other worlds exist. What am I supposed to think when they just toss me into these places, give me a pat on the back, and say, "Be on your way, merry child"? Actually, here's a thought. What kind of name is Brighton? That's a stupid name for a country. Sounds more like a town. The town of Brighton. Population 40. Arr! Blah! I'll scream blah at Cyrus and any other mentor who questions me like this. I mean, I won't, but I would. I completely, totally, and so would. For now, though, an awkward and wobbling smile is all I can muster. Blah. Well, whatever. What do you think the next step is? Alright, cool it, Winter. Just remain calm and genuinely consider the question. The next thing to do, you need to learn things that weren't given. Right. Sir, I couldn't ask my last mentor. Why are the dossiers we get before we come to these places so thin? Well, it's because they are simply comprised of first-hand information, noteworthy things that mediators have gathered through observation and gleaned from prior trips to the world. You're lucky you even have that much. Sometimes you get sent to worlds that have never been visited before. Let me tell you, it's never fun when a surprise dragon flies out from behind a mountain, or when you realize that the person you've been talking to is really just a convincing projection, or worse, a robot. And once you start going into systems that threaten your definition of what being a world even means, good luck. Then again, only experienced mediators have to deal with such things. You won't be going to any unvisited worlds, at least, definitely not yet. Oh, another question. Why revisit worlds that we've been helped? That have been helped. I mean, once order is in place, everything should be fine, right? I mean... Cyrus frowns, but his expression seems more complicated than that. I say that because his frown isn't alone. In his eyes there is a glint of irritation, directed at no one in particular. As any glint, it's gone in a second, replaced by another thing that I can't quite decipher. Part of me is curious as to what it is, but most of me doesn't care. Here's the short answer. Because chaos cannot be contained or removed. Although it can be lessened by us, it will rise again over time. Sir, are you saying there's no point to anything? No. Chaos is not inherently bad, Winter. It is the means by which all worlds are born and continue, even ours. Furthermore, it is a spark of evolution. It plays a key part in those mutations which allow life to grow and improve itself. However, for life to succeed, there must also be order. It's like, it's like how cells must work together and organs must serve their purpose. You see, a system where chaos is stronger than order is likely to collapse, just as an organism which has succumbed to disease is likely to die. In short, we are not here to eradicate chaos, Winter. We are only here to keep it in check. Oh. Anyway, where do you think we should go next? So with all the questions, well, someplace with a lot of information, I suppose. Allow me to get thinking about such a place. Oh, surprise, I'm done. The answer is so obvious, it's insulting. After all, I had already gone there during my first mediation. The library. No, that's not... Why would we go to the library? I mean, I get your line of thought. The libraries can tell you a lot about a world's history, and I would bet there are computers there too, considering the world we're in. Unfortunately, that kind of knowledge probably wouldn't be so helpful for this job. Well, what about scholarly journals? Reliable sources? No, I think we should find a bar. And I'm gonna sneeze. I'm good. Sorry. A bar. Huh? What is it? Oh, well, I just had a thought. Are the bars here special, like library bars? I figure maybe you like to drink as you read, maybe. You're funny. Winter, stop thinking about libraries. Sorry. Yeah, Winter, come on, I liked you. Stop thinking about libraries. No, you're so cool. Bars here should be normal, as far as I'm aware. We'll head there because bars are where people go to talk. Cyrus turns to walk away, as if it is the next natural thing to do. Well, it is not. I stand incredulously, whatever, for 3 full seconds before realizing that we're supposed to move ahead. They walk slow. Well, here we are, walking along. Is this a street? I've seen a few vehicles pass us by, so I guess it is. Or I should say that I've heard them, for they have been loud. They are pretty sorry excuses for transportation, though. They have these grotesque metal protrusions out of their fronts, which billow dark smoke and occasionally drip liquid. As if that weren't bad enough, most every frame of these things has looked like a bludgeon team went wild on it. They were such bewildering things that they distracted me from the matter at hand. Cyrus. Damn it! Sure. What is the codex? Oh. I want to read what I keep missing. It's normally in log. They were such bewildering things that they distracted me from the matter at hand. Cyrus, is he not going to elaborate at all? He just walked off after telling me that people talk at bars. Okay, I'm satisfied now. Thanks, Cyrus. I would not have guessed that people talk at places. Isn't he supposed to be teaching me? How can I learn anything with such vague statements? Well, Winter, well, you need to go to the ice cream parlor, Winter, because they sell food, Winter, well. Goodness, how annoying. And hasn't he been annoying since orientation? Pestering me and staring at me? An annoying and unlikable person, this Cyrus. With a reputation at that, I hear. I mean, seriously, don't people talk everywhere? Sir, don't people talk everywhere? Isn't that sort of thing humans are known for in general? Well, aren't you snippy? Oh crap, I just ruined everything, didn't I? I need to stop thinking so much or I'll let my thoughts slip out. Arrgh! I should have said it like that. He's my superior. Shouldn't have said it like that. I bet he'll lower my grade now. Sorry, sir, I didn't mean to be. It's just a bit frustrating when you don't explain yourself properly. And he's about to say, no, you did good. You need to understand the situation. Probably not. Oh, I thought it was mostly self-explanatory. Not really at all, sir. Well, maybe it is, but I don't really know anything about bars. I've never even seen the outside of one. Ah, that's right. We're really not into drinking back home, are we? I don't know if I would say that. Perhaps not everyone is the same. Well, bars are generally a place where people go to unwind. And the alcohol loosens their lips, so to speak. They'll talk about almost anything. Themselves, their troubles. And often, the root of the problem will involve what is troubling the world's people. It's a useful place to visit. Speaking of problems, what was the issue of that last world you visited? Pollution. The world was kind of oldish and much less practical than ours. They kept throwing out their stuff wrong and had bad ways of making energy. Their water ended up getting poisoned, and a lot of them were sick. Long-term project, I assume? Yeah, my mentor had actually been working on it for a while before I came. I think it was around 5 months. That's so. Glad I'm assigned short-term projects. It'd be something awful to get stuck with the same problem for nearly a year. I agree, but I don't know about the way you said that. How long did you shadow her? 3 days. I see. You've never had any alcohol, have you? What? No, sir. I would never. I mean, I'm too young. I stop in my tracks, and he stops to turn. His lips curl up in kind of a oh-ho-ho expression. Oh-ho-hoing at my innocence, ripe to be defiled. It is creepy. I am uncomfortable. I like both of these characters. No, you wouldn't do anything against the rules, would you? Is that a test? A trick? A challenge? No, sir, I would not. His smile broadens at this, and my discomfort increases. You know, Winter. Each world you visit will have its own laws, its own customs, and its own social graces. You're going to have to learn to make your mind a little more flexible if you want to succeed. I'm going to have you drink some alcohol at the bar. Excuse me? I don't want to. Besides, I'm underage. It's against the law. What's the age here? Well, Winter, in many cultures you'll be expected to drink, even at your current age. You should be ready for that. And you should know the effects alcohol has on yourself and others. What? He's telling me to break the law? Whoa, no. That is completely out of my comfort zone. I probably hate alcohol even, right? I do not want to do this. Don't drink it, girl. Trust me, it tastes like shit. But then again, I want to see you drunk, so do it. I mean, I know we're in another world, so it's not really the law, but how about drinking on the job? Is that anything? No, this is my conviction. I was born and raised to a set of rules, and I think it would be best to live by them. It is like what I learned in class. One might think it best to try absorbing all aspects of cultures met. However, it is not advisable. In absorbing a culture, you run the risk of becoming absorbed by that culture as well. Mediators should not forget who they are. I am Winter Harrison. I will not be shaken by this. I don't think I can do that, sir. Winter. That's an order. This is part of your training. If you do not drink alcohol at the bar, I will be forced to fail you. Well, what? That isn't... Just hiss at him. That's not allowed. You can't make me do anything. I most certainly can. I'm your mentor. Only for today. Only for today, and you aren't always going to be that. Besides, you can't threaten me because I have my convictions, and I won't forget who I am. I'm right. I can tell I'm right because my cheeks are flushed, my heart is pounding, and he looks wounded. I hurt him. I struck out against him, and he knows he's wrong. It isn't just enough that he's hurting inside, though. I need to teach him a lesson. I need to knock it into him. Therefore, I will raise this trembling arm and trembling fist. I will raise it and grit my teeth, and I'll punch him right in his pathetic-looking chest. Ha! What? Winter, what is this? I am rebelling against you. Did you just punch me? I nod my head quickly and with purpose. You did? Well, what does it look like? My fist smashed into your ribs, didn't it? Well, smashed is... All of a sudden, my hair goes paff, as if something heavy has lightly fallen on it. I glance up to find Cyrus resting his hand on my head. Although I know what he is doing, in fact, I just said so, I still am compelled to ask. What are you doing? Winter, fine, I won't force you to drink. You mean you can't? I mean I won't. I will, however, put forth a stern suggestion. It would be very wise of you to drink. If it will help you ease into the state of another place. I know what they've taught you, and I'd be lying if I said I ignore what I've learned. Just remember the way it's worded. You're allowed to let yourself go a little. Just don't forget. I haven't forgotten, and neither have you, it seems. But you shouldn't be afraid of stepping outside of yourself, if only for a little while. In a sense, that's what you're doing already in being here. So I urge you, Winter. Have a pint. I'll... just a little. He broke down pretty quick. Good enough. I like these two. Well, there's a bar. Come on, Winter. That's a bar? What makes it any different from the other stores? It looks just the same from the outside. They don't seem to pride themselves in distinction out here. I run my hand through my hair and grimace. I wonder if, since all the storefronts look like this, maybe they're all bars. What a terrible thought. What if this is a culture which loves to drink? Will I be expected to drink a lot? I hope not. Warily, I begin to follow Cyrus. What am I doing? This is so illegal. I wonder if I can report this. Okay, brace for it. No amount of alcohol-tinged breath could be enough to prepare me for a bar smell, surely. And I'm gonna end this episode here. Oh my gosh. Will she drink? Will Winter actually drink? Find out next time on Dysfunctional Systems. I'm WaitWhat, and I hope you enjoyed it. Goodbye. And look forward to the next part, because I know I will. Yeah.